Everyone, welcome to Coaching in Life. It's Thursday today, and Thursday is our alignment day where we share coaches, inspiration, tools, and knowledge, but also how we share coach performance. And today we have Samantha Grider, who is a life coach at Coaching in Life. Hi, Samantha. How are you today?
I'm well. Thanks so much for joining and having me here. I am so excited to be here.
And with us today is also Alison Pingling and Brian C. Dunn. And we're all going to engage in a little while, but Samantha, would you care to share with us what's it like to work with Samantha?
Yeah, thank you so much. So for everyone who doesn't know, I'm Samantha Grider. I am a high performance coach for women. I'm out here helping women to get more out of life and their businesses. And what I would love to share with you today is actually 3 myths about high performance. The first myth is that skills trump motivation. And what I want to remind you of is the story of the tortoise and the hare. How the hare ran off with this great skill to get to the end and he sped off. However, the tortoise came along with this planned out steps and he took his time and he got there. And although the hare's motivation was amazing and it's great, we can take from that skills and planned out strategic steps help us in the entrepreneur world to achieve more. And then myth number 2 I want to share with you is that it's about the right people or that high performance is for them and not for me. And I want to share with you that it's for anyone who wants it. High performance is more about being someone than it really is about doing things. And then the number 1 myth number 3, is that you have to want to be busy all the time or want to be like them to be getting the most out of your life. And that's falling into a comparison mindset. And high performance is about finding what's working, trying it on for yourself, and then customizing it for your life because everyone's unique. Again, it's not about doing certain things. It's about being who you are in your best skin. And excellence, I want to say, is not a skill. It's about embodying an attitude.
I think that that's fantastic, Samantha. And I think that your energy, your ability to ask questions is extremely good. Alison, would you like to ask Samantha some questions?
Sure. I guess when I think about that, or when I first, started into my coaching life, I wouldn't have had those would have been expectations I would have set on myself, right? Some of those things, the harder I work, the longer days I work, I'm going to be more successful. I didn't see that in my life. So I guess one of my questions for you is when you're working with a client, like how do you start that first step, or what's that first question you ask someone so they can start thinking in that, of the other possibilities that they may have, or actually getting an idea of what that high performance might be for them?
I love that question. What I love about that question is it highlights how high performance and motivation is unique for each person, like you said, for them. And the biggest question that starts off the thinking brain, that getting us out of that fear critter brain, is what's important about that? We have these dreams and these goals and these things that we want to do out here. But what's important about that, right?
Yeah. Why do you care?
Yeah. Why are we doing it? What's the point of doing it if we're not enjoying every aspect of it? As a high performance coach myself, I hold my clients at the highest regard for their life, not for my life and what I'm trying to achieve. Brian, do you have any questions out here?
But you know what? I actually really appreciate what you're saying about motivation and skill, and in essence, finding yourself.
Mm.
You know, when I was a teacher, I taught special ed for 20 years, and people would often say, well, these kids just aren't motivated. But you get them in front of a video game and they're very motivated. You get them out on the soccer pitch and they're very motivated. So it's just finding your motivation, like you were saying. And also, when I started teaching and when I started my hypnosis practice, I was trying really hard to be like the other teachers and be like other hypnotherapists. And I found that I was just falling flat. And so when I finally just stopped that and just started being me, I really excelled. What I want to ask you about is women as a women's empowerment coach, in particular, women historically have been relegated to support roles and have been indoctrinated as the mother, the wife, you know, the caregiver, and unless they're needed immediately, and they kind of get stuck in that mentality. What would you say, what do you say to help draw them out, to encourage going after their own dreams and goals?
I love that. What would I ask to draw out their own dreams and goals? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. And because, you know, you think about it, I've worked with a couple organizations that target women specifically who that is their identity. They want more, but they don't feel comfortable expressing it. And so how can you encourage someone to go after, you know, go for the gold, as it were?
I love that. Yeah. How do I ask women to want more for themselves? Yeah. Thank you. I love that. And really, I feel like it's being myself and relating to them and being a human myself, similar to what you've pointed on before, is it really depends on each woman and how we're talking and the conversation we get into. Because like I said, each woman is individual and their dreams are individual. And so when someone comes to me, they already have this idea of wanting more for themselves. And I'm here to help them to form that into a focused plan forward. We know what's best for ourselves. However, it can get so confusing in our brains, especially when we're moms and CEOs or life is happening, just like all the life that happens, right? And so as a coach, I feel like I'm equipped with a series of questions to help elicit out of each woman where their blocks are that are holding them back from achieving the more that they know they want. Does that answer that question?
Yeah, you know, yeah, and it's really kind of a deep question, because we're really on the precipice of, you know, more empowerment for those mitigated in society. And, you know, as a straight white male, you know, things are a lot easier for me. And so I rely on, you know, people like you to kind of guide me when I have clients that are looking for specific answers that I may not, because of my own background, have. So I really value you being there, and Barrett and Allison as well, as a resource for me, because, well, I'm not a woman. Last time I checked, anyway. So thank you, Sam.
Thank you. Barrett, do you bring any questions to this awesome conversation? I'm loving these questions. Thank you, Allison. Thank you, Brian.
I think that I would like to ask you the question, Samantha. I know that achieving can be hard, and especially we work out of the feedback that we get, and we need to adjust that. How would you help a client bridge those gaps? What do you see as the accountability or the way that they can feel comfortable aligning with you on, in my opinion, a difficult path to look in the mirror and make those changes?
Such a beautiful question. And I love how you highlight that the path is not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy, right? Thank you for that question, Barrett. I feel like as Samantha Grider, I bring to the table for women who are committed and ready to make that next step, the ability to take in the story and to mirror it back to them with a loving non-judgment and holding them, like I said at the beginning of the call, holding them at this standard, at this high regard. Everyone has this ability and opportunity and deserves to enjoy and love every aspect of their life, especially and even on the shitty days, because like I said, all the life happens, right? And so what I feel like personally I bring as a high performance coach for women who are ready to make that next step is a loving and gentle but firm and certain nudge for. I myself know that I am a recovering perfectionist, a recovering people pleaser, and so I know how fear can literally hold us back in life. And I'm here to let every woman know that fear does not have to hold you back, and you deserve to have more and the most out of your life. Thank you for that question, Barrett. I get so worked up. I'm like, yeah, let's go.
So before we wrap up today, does anyone have a last question for Samantha that can help listeners feel comfortable connecting with Samantha?
No, I think we're good today. Thank you, Samantha. That was great. And Allison, good question. Good question. We'll need to see, from a different perspective.
Yeah, thank you. I guess I did have one more question. I guess, Samantha, why'd you pick this type of coaching? Why'd your heart land working with women? What's your why?
Yes, I love that question.
Tell us a little bit, what would draw someone to you? Why is this your passion? Because you are very energetic and passionate about this, right? So there's something fueling you.
Yes. Yeah. I love that. And it reminds me kind of what Brian was saying of how being around women, he gets insight. I have no insight into men. So first of all, I always stick to women because I know women. And then I don't feel like I got to choose being a coach. I feel like based on my life and all the events, I've gotten this opportunity to grow into Samantha Grider, high performance coach. I've been a line cook. I've been a housekeeper, an innkeeper, and I've done all the things and always had this mindset that whether I was the poop scooper or the CEO of the poop scooping company, I was going to use the attitude of the CEO. And so I always did so much more and grew out of everything. And I finally came to a point where I discovered how much I love to help other women be heard, because I spent so long feeling so unheard and putting myself down. I was literally always putting myself at the end of the line, but blaming literally everyone around me for putting me there, but I was the one doing it. And then I started looking internally, and I found coaching. It found me really. I heard it on a radio or something somewhere. And the internal work has helped me to be able to communicate more with myself and express myself more and literally change my life in ways I can't even express. Does that answer that question?
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you for being here. Oh,
So thank you, Samantha. This was a very good insight and very good information into high performance coaching with Samantha Grider. I think that for all listeners, having the feedback, joining with a coach who has the experience and tried not the same, but similar. Life experiences is about knowing not what is going to happen, but being able to handle what is happening, being able to be brave, dynamic, and flexible in those tough, hard decisions that can be problems, challenges that you need to overcome and move on with a clear mind, making good decisions. Often people put poison in their own drink, believing that the enemy is going to die. And often we make decisions where we fight with people where we shouldn't, or we get angry because someone else did something and we shouldn't. It's just we need to teach ourselves our own learning and gaining control of what we want, desire, and need to be happy in life. Everyone, Samantha, you're great. Your clients will adore having you. And for everyone listening today, go to coachinginlife.com. It was wonderful to see you. Reach out to you if we can support anything. It's www.coachinginlife.com or write us an email, info@coachinginlife.com. Have a beautiful day.